Okay, today we're going to be learning about the place value strategy for long division with decimals. So just like multiplication with decimals, the first thing we're going to do is estimate. So we're going to need to change our 4 and 92 hundredths to a number that's going to be a little bit easier to work with. If this was a multiplication problem, we would just look at rounding up or rounding down. But because we're using division, we want to think about compatible numbers. What I mean by that is we want to think of a number that 4 and 92 hundredths is close to, but that's also easy to divide by 3. We know that an estimate needs to be quick and easy, but close. So if we're looking at this number, we want to think of our 3 timeses. We could even write out our 3 timeses if we have some trouble with our multiplication. So 3, 6, 9. So writing out our multiples of 3, and then looking at which of those numbers is closest to 4 and 92 hundredths. So here I would say, maybe I feel like this is a little bit closer to 6. 6 would be easy to work with. So for my estimate, I would do 6 divided by 3. And I would know that that is 2, because I know that 3 times 2 gives me 6. Now, because I took this number and made it larger, I know this is an overestimate, and I'm going to use that information to help me at the end. So now with our place value strategy, we're actually going to ignore this decimal. We're going to treat this like a large number problem. So instead of being 4 and 92 hundredths, we're going to pretend this is 492. And I'm actually going to label my place value columns to help me with this. So hundreds, tens, and ones. So with this strategy, I'm actually going to split up my hundreds first. So I like to imagine that I have 492 of something. Let's say I have 492 gummy bears, and I want to share them with 3 people, and I want to share them equally, because we know that's what division's all about. So here I have 4 hundreds of gummy bears. So that means that I have 100 gummy bears stuck together in 100. And I have 4 of those 100 chunks of gummy bears. And I want to divide them evenly among my 3 friends. So I can see, first I want to ask myself, how many in each group? So if I have 4 of something and I want to make 3 groups, I only have enough for 1 in each group. So that's my how many in each group. Next, I need to figure out how many of those I used up. So I had 4 big chunks of gummy bears, and I've used up 3 of them. Because if I put 1 in each group and there's 3 groups, I can multiply and I get 3. So I've used up 3 of those. Now I need to figure out how many I have left. So I'm going to subtract, and I have 100 gummy bear left. So I have 100 chunk of gummy bears left. Now that 100s chunk, I'm not going to be able to split into 3 bags because there's only 1 of them. So I'm going to split it up into tens. And I know that if I have 100, I can split it up into 10 tens. But I also have 9 tens of gummy bears here. So that's like 9 rods of gummy bears. So if I had 10 gummy bears stuck together in a line, and I have 9 of those. So what I'm going to do with that 9 gummy bears is I'm going to bring it down. So now I have the 10 tens that I had left over from my hundreds, plus the 9 tens that I started with. So now I have 19 tens of gummy bears. So imagining 19 sticks of gummy bears stuck together in groups of 10. So now I'm going to take those sticks of gummy bears and split them into 3 equal groups. And I want to think how many in each. So, do I have enough for 7 in each group? No, 7 times 3 is 21, so I don't quite have enough for 7. What about 6? Would I have enough to give each of my friends 6 tens of gummy bears? I would, because I know 6 times 3 is 18. Now, the trick with this place value strategy is I have to find the largest number that works. So I could have said, I'll just give each friend 2 sticks of gummy bears, but then I'd have a lot left over, and that's going to give me some problems. So I always find the largest number possible. Now, I have enough to make 18. So 6 times 3 is 18. That means I've used up 18 of those sticks of gummy bears because I put 6 into 3 groups, 6 in each group. So I've used up 18. I'm going to subtract to find out how many I have left. I have 110 of gummy bears left over. Now, I can't split or can't give any of that 1 to 3 people because it won't divide evenly. So I'm going to split it up into 1. So I'm going to take that stick of 10 gummy bears and split it into individual gummy bears. And I also had 2 1s to start with. So I'm going to bring that 2 down. And now I know that I have 12 gummy bears, 12 individual ones of gummy bears to share with my friends. So I want to think, how many in each? How many can I put into each of the 3 groups if I have 12 of them? I need to think of my 3 timeses. Do I have enough to put 5 in each group? No, I would need 15 for that, because 5 times 3 would be 15. So I don't have enough for 5 in each group. Do I have enough for 4 in each group? I think I do. 4 times 3 gives me 12, so that tells me I used up all 12 gummy bears. So I subtract, and I have 0. So when I've divided each of my groups of gummy bears and I have 0 left over, I know that I'm finished. So I know that each of my 3 friends gets 164 gummy bears, and I've divided evenly. Now here's the trick. We actually started with a division problem. Remember how we said we'd ignore that decimal? Well, we need to have a look at it again. So our estimate was 2. Given the number that we started with, we said we think our answer is going to be 2, but a little bit less than that, because we knew it was an overestimate. So if I expect my answer to be a little bit less than 2, putting my decimal here makes the most sense. So I know that my answer is 1 64 hundredths.